This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Thursday, April 3rd. I'm Jacob Shropshire.
And I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet. The sun is about to rise on the island of Grenada while people are heading to bed in Wellington. Here in the World Crunch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. World stock markets sink after Donald Trump imposes sweeping new tariffs. Hungary announces its withdrawal from the ICC as Netanyahu arrives for a state visit. In our More Than a Minute feature today, we go to Donbas, Ukraine, where Kyiv has started sending inmates to the frontline. And get your hands on the buzzer for a daily quiz question about fruit flies. Our top story today is the world reacting to President Trump's announcement of far-reaching new tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners, raising fears of a global trade war and shaking stock markets around the world. The new levies include a 10% tariff on most goods imported to the US and higher rates for countries that Trump calls the worst offenders. The European Union and China vowed retaliation, with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz warning that the global economy would, quote, suffer from these decisions that haven't been thought through. The news is dominating international newspaper front pages, from France's La Tribune calling the tariffs Trump's poker move, to Brazil's O Estado de São Paulo headlining Trump opens trade war against the world. In other news, Hungary announced today that the country was withdrawing from the International Criminal Court, the ICC, hours after the arrival in Budapest of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israeli leader is facing arrest under an ICC warrant, and today's visit to Hungary is the first time he stepped foot on European soil since the May 2024 warrant against him over allegations of war crimes in Gaza. In Myanmar, the death toll from last week's massive earthquake surpassed 3,000 as global aid organizations warn that extreme heat and heavy rain could cause disease outbreaks among survivors camping in the open. With 341 people still missing, the ruling junta announced a 3-week ceasefire in operations against armed opposition groups to speed up relief and reconstruction efforts. In our More Than a Minute feature today, we turn to a reportage by Italian daily La Stampa from the eastern Donbas region of Ukraine to understand why Kyiv has started sending inmates to the front line.
While voluntary enlistment is still strong in Ukraine, it is no longer enough. Kyiv has begun allowing prisoners to apply for early release in exchange for military service.
La Stampa correspondent Francesca Manocchi writes that while voluntary enlistment is still strong in Ukraine, it simply is no longer enough to keep up with Russia's demographic edge and ruthless recruitment tactics.
Alongside the tens of thousands of soldiers killed in the war, Ukraine faces a grim reality. Its declining birth rate, aging population, and high depopulation make it unlike any nation that has fought a major war. Its average soldier is around 40, with many over 45, a stark contrast to the wars of the past, where young men were sent to fight. Taken together, this means the Ukrainian army is running dangerously short on personnel. So last summer, the government started allowing prisoners to apply for early release in exchange for military service. The law excludes those convicted of serious crimes. Rapists, murderers, and those found guilty of crimes against national security are not eligible. So far, about 7,000 former inmates have been freed under this program, an approach not unlike that which has been used by the Russian army since the early months of the war.
What makes Ukraine's program different?
Ukraine's defense minister, Denis Malyunska, emphasizes that Kyiv's program treats the former prisoners like other recruits. Quote, "In our case, the prisoners are trained and their lives are valued the same as everyone else's." Russia has sent an estimated 100,000 former inmates to the front since 2022, though critics have said that they were often used as cannon fodder, shipped straight to the assault brigades, sometimes to the most dangerous frontline positions, always ready to be replaced by the next wave of recruits. Reporting from training areas near the town of Kramatorsk, Manoki writes that former prisoners are learning to fire weapons and operate drones. Soldiers of the 93rd Brigade have dubbed them the Alcatraz Unit. Some of the new arrivals told Manoki that they are not only happy to be out of prison, but energized by army life. They say they feel, quote, useful to the country.
We're closing things out today with a daily quiz question. According to a new study, what do male fruit flies do in order to make themselves more attractive to females? A. They dance. B. They drink alcohol. C. They bzz a tune. Or D. They fly in a heart shape. The correct answer is B. Male fruit flies drink alcohol to become more attractive to females, says a new study. Alcohol produced by rotting fruit allows males to increase their release of pheromones and leads to higher mating success. Scientists have been trying for years to solve the mystery of why the insects are attracted to alcohol, with study author Bill Hanson jesting, "We don't think flies drink alcohol because they are depressed."
That's the latest from around the world. If you liked this podcast, we would really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, a share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain.